Hey guys, happy Saturday. Hey, it's the first weekend of 2019. And I want to say enjoy your weekend. I have been, this week, I've been studying a lot of communication from singles who have been single for a while and also couples who are perhaps, there's a lot of ups and downs, there's a bit of a turbulence in their relationship. And also, I've been studying the body language and the communication for the couples who are extremely happy and they've got a great communication. So, what is it that makes the couples super happy? Yeah, there's a lot of things, but I'm gonna cover a few things that I think you can take it on, which will be really beneficial to everyone, even couples or even singles, because for singles it really starts with when you are single. Obviously, you attract that person. So really, if you look back, it starts with when you are single. So the best time to do this work is when you're single. It's not that if you're in a relationship, it's too late. It still can be, everything can be resolved in communication, planning, and logical thinking. So communication, planning, logical thinking. There's usually one of those things are missing. I mean, there are a few more things, but yeah, which we will cover later on in the stages. But for now, I think it's a good start to start with communication. So communication starts with single, when they're single, right? Imagine when you were single, just think about, or if you are still single, how are you going to choose your partner or your life partner? So when you're choosing your life partner, it's the most important decision that you can make, because your career, a lot of people think who are career focused, career oriented, what they want to be, do they want to be a doctor, nurse, lawyer, pilot, whatever you want to be. Yeah, that's important. But I think the most important thing is your decision for your life. That's why it's called life partner, because that person you're going to marry and potentially you're going to have kids with, the person that you're going to marry is going to have an impact on your future, at least 3 upcoming generations. So it's really, if you attract the wrong person, who is abusive, alcoholic, doesn't listen to you, you don't have a great connection, that's going to have a negative impact on your kids, on your grandkids, and perhaps on your great grandkids as well. So there's been facts that a person that you're going to marry is going to have an impact on your future upcoming 3 generations. Because kids kind of subconsciously seem to copy everything that the parents do. Well, there have been some exceptions when they try to do everything that the parents have not been doing, or what they've been doing, they will try to just be opposite. So there's always going to be exceptions, but kids obviously will pick up the things from their parents, either from mom or dad, or they might pick up the best 2 things, out of both of them, or they might pick up the worst things. So it really depends, your life partner, whoever that person is, that you need to have alignment, you need to have that understanding with them. It starts with self-worth. So a lot of singles, when they make their decisions, based on a short-term fix rather than finding a long-term solution. Reason how it drives is there's a bit of they feel like they're lacking something and they don't feel like are complete, and they feel like they need someone in their life to make them complete, and they cannot live happily when they are single. So it all starts with the decision making, thinking process, and it's like example, right? And then the brain is saying to them, I'm single for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, right? I want someone now. I just want to jump into a relationship. I want to be in a relationship. I see other happy couples, but they don't know if they're really happy. Yes, they're happy, in front of you, but you don't know what's happening behind the scenes, right? So it's kind of it's driving from a bit of competition, a bit of comparison, a bit of everything at the background, mainly comparison. Oh, those guys, they got married, they're having kids, and I'm still single and struggling, and I've been single for so long. I want to have a great relationship. So when they have so many things going in their mind, do you think their mind's going to help them, or do you think they're going to make the right decision? Now, I'm going to give you an example. Can you eat while you are running? Like literally, not jogging, but like when you're really sprinting, can you eat food while you're sprinting? The answer is no. You cannot eat while you are running. Just the same thing happens when you're single, when you're desperate, and your mind's thinking 1,000 things a minute. Do you think the decision that you're going to make is going to be the right decision? It may or may not, but most likely, because it's coming from desperation and not being complete, or as in like, yeah, I am fully satisfied and fulfilled, we feel like, or singles feel like, they need someone in their life to make them complete, to make them happy without being in a relationship. They feel like there's something missing. So the thing is, with so many things going in the mind tendency is gonna be like, what do I do? What do I do? Let's make a short-term decision. So any decision that is made and when you are not sure is perhaps not gonna be the right decision. So can you eat when you are sitting down on a dinner table? The answer is right. Yeah, you totally can eat while you're sitting down on the dining table. So what does that mean? It means when you have peace, you have that logical thinking, you planning, you have that peace inside you, you feel complete, you can make great decisions. So just think about it. While your brain was, or your mind was thinking 1,000 things a minute, and you decided something and it didn't end up as per plan, because you will not even think about what your soulmate profile is. Perhaps you're single and you don't know what your soulmate profile is, so you're going to probably end up dating the wrong person because you want to be in a relationship. You made a New Year's resolution that you're going to be in a relationship by end of this year, and it's perhaps November. So whoever is kind of the right close fit, not perfect. Well, no one's perfect, but whoever even satisfies, 20, 30, 40% of the things, you're going to say yes. Out of your soulmate profile, they don't tick the top 3 boxes, or top 4, or at least top 3. They only probably ticked 1, and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. That person is attractive, but you don't see what the other person has got. And usually we always look at, especially men, we look at a physical attraction as the person, but we don't see what's behind that. And we tend to rush through our decisions and jump into a relationship which can be not that great for our future life, because we just don't see that we've just attracted the wrong person in our life. So, and we sell ourselves cheap, and the same pattern goes on in other areas of life. Like example, like your job or your career. Yeah, you are desperate because you need money, and then you will find a job which just pays off the bills. You're going to be like, I don't care about starting. Perhaps you're passionate about something and you want to start your own business, and you will be like, yeah, business is just like a sweet dream. It sounds really cool, but I don't know if I've got it. I don't know if I will ever make it. For now, I just want to pay the bills. Let's find this job. It's minimum wage. Get it. At least it pays the bills. Keep me out of the trouble. The same way, you're going to choose the partner who is gonna be on the same level, who's gonna tick all the basic boxes, and then you will be like, oh yes, if I'm in there, I can always change the other person, make them my soulmate. But the thing is, every time we wanna fix or change something, it's not true love. Why would you even wanna be in relationship with a person and we feel like we are in love with that person? We can change them, we can mold them accordingly. And when there's no change happening, what happens? We get frustrated. We think about, why is that person not willing to give up the things that we want them to give up? Why they're not communicating with love? Why they don't pay us attention? But the thing is, if you look at it, that person was perhaps wrong from the day one, but we says, well, tick half of the boxes anyways, we're going to jump in the relationship because it's coming from desperation and we want to be in a relationship, and there's no compatibility, but we will make it work because we will make sure that we change that person in the process and it will work. And if you look at it, it's like a mirror, right? The other person thinks the same thing. Other person thinks that they can change you, you're thinking you can change them, and that's the clash. That's where the relationships break down. So it's really crucial when you're single. Think about it, plan, logical thinking, make sure your brain's not thinking 1,000 things a minute, make sure you're at peace, and that's when you start manifesting your soulmate. So really, deciding what are you going to do, or choosing what are you going to do. Are you going to get played by selling yourself out too cheap, as in like with no self-worth? That's fine, anyone can come in. I just want to be in a relationship. I want someone who can cuddle me, love me, and be a part of my life. But you got to think about, is that person going to treat you like a king or a queen? Is that person going to love you, or is there a commitment there? Is there a communication there? There's a lot of ways you can see the communication. Most of the times it's the unspoken communication, like how does the person cares about you? They don't have to say that they love you, but it's just the feeling that you get. There's unspoken communication is more powerful than the spoken communication, and we usually don't see that, and we usually rely on positive, sweet, good words. We focus on that rather than the unspoken communication about what the person is being like when they're around you. Do they really care about you? Do they really love you? The thing is, I've been studying the happy couples for the last couple of weeks, and I've been thinking, yes, they were really, really sure about what they wanted in their partner, and took them 2 or 3 years. So they were happy single, they were whole and complete, they were not in a desperation. When they were single, they took their time. Some of them, I've got a friend who dated like 10 girls in 5 years, when he was from 22 to 27. He's happily married now. He's got a child, and his wife's pregnant, so they're expecting a second baby. So I studied it. He's gone through, and I was like, what's wrong with this dude? He's jumping from one relationship to other relationship. And I keep on talking to him. I still remember him. I'm like, bro, why are you jumping from one relationship? Why doesn't your relationships last long? What's wrong with you, dude? You need some coaching. But guess what his answer was? His answer was, bro, I haven't found my perfect match yet. The day I found it, I will know, my intuition will tell me, my heart will tell me that she is the right person, and I'm going to get married with that person. Yes, took him 2 years, or a few years finding the right person. But once he saw, or he met his ideal soulmate, they got married within a year. They had the baby in the first year. They've been married for 2 years, and they're having a second child. Same example I can see for my other friends as well, and the other people that me and Danielle, we've been interviewing them. What is the best thing that the couples did while they were in a relationship before they actually got engaged? they started their relationship really strong. So there was a clear communication. They had their boundaries. They had their, you know, that no one's gonna manipulate and control the other person while they're in a relationship. So everything was crystal clear. Everything was transparent when they moved on to relationship. So I think which was an amazing thing which they did, and one of the couples they've just the 40th anniversary. So I met them just before in December 2018, and the second weekend was their 40th anniversary, and I was blown away. And I asked them, "What is it that has?" Yes, they had disagreements in those 40 years. Yes, they have ups and downs. They've probably seen a lot of ups and downs. But one of the things when they first married, they were really certain that person is the right person for them. And it was perfectly the match, and they loved who they were and what they were not. And they didn't try to change each other. They were like, yes, we know, they were 100% certain that person is the right person. And during the course of 40 years, they've never tried changing each other. So for them, it was communication, it was awareness. They practice mindfulness. Like they think logically, they think before they say anything. Is that thing gonna hurt them? Is it gonna destroy the relationship? Or whatever I'm gonna say, because I am activated, or is it something that's gonna help the relationship and grow the relationship and nurture each other? So practicing awareness or mindfulness, think before you speak. It's one of the most common phrases that has been used for decades, for centuries. Think before you speak. What's gonna happen when your words land on the other side? What the reaction is gonna be on the other person? So, also not trying to intentionally change for anyone else, and thinking that's gonna make them happy. The change should happen naturally. It shouldn't happen because you're forcing a change. It's not going to work, because guess what? If you're changing yourself for someone else, what's going to happen? You are going to live your life, making others happy. It's really fake. You trying to make others happy, but inside you're not going to be happy. And it's just like when you start at example at this level, there's going to be an anger or frustration going to keep building up, building up, building up, building up. And then one day it's going to hit a threshold, and you're going to just let it go. You're going to say, I've had enough. I've been trying to change. I've been trying to do so many things for you. It's not happening. I am not happy in this relationship, and the consequences is not going to be great. So don't promise that you're going to change. If you do promise, make sure the change happens naturally. It's not a forced, others don't have to force you to change. You change yourself. You change yourself rather than others trying to change you, because it's not going to happen. Others can't change you. Only you have the power to change yourself. So you can either say, I'm going to stay the way I am. I will give my best, not try my best. I will give my best, because there's either do it or don't do it. There's no try. I'm going to give my best, and I'm going to change in the course of time, not when I'm forced to, but whenever I want to change, I will. It's, it can happen overnight. It can happen in a split of a second, or it can take years. But it shouldn't be, the power shouldn't be on the other person's hand. It should be with you, because you're the person who want to change, rather than others giving you a time. I want you to change in a week. It's not going to happen. It starts with you, and you are the person who can change. And also, if you're single, guys, make your decisions based on, make sure you do all your due diligence. Like if you're buying a business, you think about it, is it a profitable business? So be more practical in life. Yes, you got to listen to your heart, You got to listen to your intuition, but be more practical rather than making decisions, because rather than rushing it and saying, I want to jump into a relationship, make sure you make your decisions based on love and also based on a bit of practicality. Thinks about, is that person a right match? How's the long-term relationships going to be like? Because initially and during the honeymoon period, everything is great. But what happens after honeymoon period, after 3 or 4 months, the couples start fighting. And, to be honest, everyone experiences that 3 or 4 months, things will start showing up in your life, especially for couples, which haven't been showing. How do I know? Because I have experienced those things as well. And the only way to resolve it is through communication. Communicating, restoring, saying, yes, I stuffed up, apologizing. And the biggest thing is accepting rather than expecting them to do something. Accept who they are and who they're not, and just love them for who they are, rather than expecting them to, hey, you didn't make me a cup of tea this morning, or you didn't cook me breakfast, you didn't prepare my lunch. No one owes you anything. It should come from the heart. If you're trying to force anything or manipulate or forcing a change, does not happen. It has to come from the heart. If it doesn't come from the heart, it's not gonna end up nicely. So it's really, really important that you don't compare your partner with someone else, because it's not going to be good for your relationship. And no person's going to tick all the boxes, because you're not going to tick all the boxes for anyone else either. So life's not perfect, but it's all about having that balance. When you're starting a relationship, having that self-worth and saying, yes, this is the right person that I want to attract, making sure that person fit your soulmate profile. You may have 3, or maybe you just want 4 non-negotiable qualities. And if the person doesn't fit, think about it. Rather than saying, I'm going to ask them to work on those things and they're going to be perfect match. No, it doesn't happen like this. It's their choice if they want to do it, or they don't want to do it. So our purpose as soulmate coaches, me and Danielle, we want everyone to have great relationships, and we want everyone to love their partner when they are in relationships. So that's what our commitment is for all the singles and all the couples around the world, because we know when we are helping or assisting or making a difference to others, it helps us, our relationship goes stronger. There's new things which open us for us. So we're not doing it just to help you guys, we just do it because it takes our relationship to the next level. This is one of the things. So that's one of the things that we want everyone to do their projects, to do something for other people, because it's a law of universe. You should give, some societies believe you should give 10% of your income out to charities, to, if you believe in any religion, or to social organization, because it's whatever you're giving out comes back to you. Like, I don't know, people say comes back to you 10 times. So I don't know if it's true, but it definitely comes back to you. The time you make a difference to other people's life, it comes back to you. You don't even know. You don't have to expect it. It doesn't come back straight away. It will come back in one form or another, but you wouldn't even realize that it's coming back to you. So be mindful and love your partner. If you're single, make sure you don't sell yourself out too cheap in all the areas of your life. Whether it's your career, it's your relationships, just make sure you do have your self-worth. And the biggest thing is knowing who you are and who you're not is really going to set the pace for your future relationships. That's it for today. I will see you on the next call. Bye.